Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday, wow, how did that happen? The middle of the week. So come on in. Let's join together. See how everybody's doing. Do a little check-in, check-up. And let's get some happiness going on this morning. This is a morning of joy. So come on in. Find you all. Must log in to continue. Gotta love it. As I said before, my computer has more security than Fort Knox. Don't know why, but here it is. And to prove who I am, to be able to see all of you, okay? And there you are. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Hello, everyone. Ricky, Rick, and Josie, Kathy Hand, Annie 7, Blue, good morning. Annie, you tried the warm water this morning to squirt a fresh lemon before your coffee. Awesome. I know, I love doing that, Annie. It's so good for you and makes you feel good. So I'm so happy that you're doing that. All right, let me find you on my phone so I can see who else is coming in. And there you are, Christina. Good morning, Christina Leftwich. I'm so glad you're here. And let's see who else. Oh my gosh. It's like a homecoming this morning. Thank you all for being here. We're going to do some check-in. But before that, let's check in with our heart and our brain, or as Blue calls it, the heart, mind to the divine. I love that. And we've kind of adopted that as Blue's saying for all of us for the morning show. So go into your heart. Just breathe right into it and connect into the brain and say, how am I doing today? How are we doing? And just go into that beautiful energy of love. Because when you do the heart-brain coherence, love is that special ingredient. And when you say, I love myself, I love life, I'm grateful for another day alive, all of those things make such a difference. They make a difference in your attitude, for sure. And when we make a difference in our attitude, we make a difference in our emotions. So, how is your attitude today? Good morning, Pachetta. I was just reading some Edgar Casey before I came on the show. Yeah, I'm up early. It's only 6 o'clock in the morning here, but I was up reading. Isabel, good morning. And when I have books like Edgar Casey, Yogananda, my new book that I'm reading, I just open and say, what do I need to know right now? And this morning, what I needed to know is that our attitude is connected to our consciousness. So we have choices, though, in that attitude. Our conscious thought can be something that's not so pleasant, We can focus on things that take us down that rabbit hole of, the world's full of chaos. Or what else can we focus on? We can focus on this family, on the fact that we all come in here this morning, every morning, and look for positive. When you come in here, it's all about the positive. Oh, good morning, Prachetta. It's New Moon Day. It certainly is. So let's see what the angels have to say to us and for us. Last night was Angel Circle. The angels told me at the end of last year, they told me two things. One was to write the blog every night. They were going to give me messages, which they have. And the other thing was to do a free angel circle for everybody on the 22nd of each month. Well, yesterday was the 22nd, and it kind of sneaked up on me. So I didn't have time to really put out a lot of information that it was happening. But every month it happens on the 22nd. So next month will be the last one. I'm doing it for the year. And next month it'll be close to Christmas time. So I'd love to see more of you come in next month and let's really hear what those angels have to say. I do record them, so I'll be putting out the collective message to everyone when I get that up on YouTube. But for right now, what do the angels want us to know? And the message was, the gift that comes from your heart is enough. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. That's from Pablo Neruda. I love that statement. I love that because there's certain things in life that are going to happen, and it doesn't matter if we try to deny that it's happening. That's what this is all about. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot stop spring from coming. Are you familiar with Aesop's fable of the lion and the mouse? A lion lay asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. A timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, and in her fright and haste to get away, ran across the lion's nose. Roused from his nap, the lion laid his huge paw angrily on the tiny creature to kill her. "Spare me," begged the poor mouse. "Please let me go, and someday I will surely repay you." The lion was much amused to think that a mouse could ever help him, but he was generous and finally let the mouse go. Some days later, while stalking his prey in the forest, the lion was caught in the toils of a hunter's net. Unable to free himself, he filled the forest with his angry roaring. The mouse knew the voice and quickly found the lion struggling in the net. Running to one of the great ropes that bound him, she gnawed at it until it parted, and soon the lion was free. "You laughed when I said I would repay you," said the mouse. "Now you see that even a mouse can help a lion." Dear angels, sometimes we humans are so judgmental of others that we do not see their value or the equality of each other. We all have our special gifts and value that we have to offer. When an act of kindness is shown, no matter how small, it can have a huge impact. Some of those can even be life-changing for those we encounter. Dear ones, have you ever observed a young child who wishes to share something they have in their possession, such as a toy or a snack? The joy is in the giving. There is delight seeing that someone accepts their act of kindness. Encouraging this behavior in your young ones is one way to ensure that the giving will continue in their lives as they grow. Giving has its own power to lift confidence and joy inside. Children and adults who withhold sharing with others end up with scarcity mindset. To overcome the feeling of lack, it is best to give. The happiest people on your planet are the givers. Don't wait for someone to give you a hug. Offer one yourself. Take a sandwich to a homeless person and share it with them, asking to sit with them while you eat. There are so many ways to lift the vibration of your planet. Be a change maker by giving and sharing. Your argument at times is that you do not have anything to give. We say even a smile is a gift. See how you can best support others in your world, and in so doing, you will free yourself, much like the lion in the story. Dear angels, today I promise to give and not judge the size of what is given. I love that story because it brings up so many things in our minds. It brings up the fact of being benevolent, of being compassionate, and how often when someone's in need, are we compassionate? How often do we just turn a blind eye and say, oh, somebody will help that homeless person. Somebody will help out for sure. I know it. I don't have to do anything because others will. And sometimes that's the way that we have an attitude about life, isn't it? We'll just sit back and let other people do it instead of saying, what can I do? What difference can I make in the world? Good morning, Catherine Kovacs. And who else came in? There were a few people. JoY Castrillo, hello. Nora Bush and Bonnie Rockins Crystals. Bonnie, welcome back. Marietta, my sweetheart lady, good morning, good morning. So I don't know if any of you can relate to the story of the Lion and the Mouse, but I know I sure did. It really struck me that we need to look at our attitudes. And what is that attitude? Is the attitude, I don't have enough, so I'm going to keep everything I got and protect it at all costs? Or is our attitude, I have a dime, I can share a nickel of it and still have something? And that's the way it is when we focus on what we can do, not what we can't do. Oh, thank you, Kathy Hand. Yeah, I think that brings up some good energy for us to think about during Thanksgiving. You know, giving is part of that word, and most certainly we can do something. You know, we live in a country that has plenty. There are countries that don't. And unfortunately, there are countries where there are people starving to death, even in this day. Even in today's times, there are people starving to death. And I was just reading about Somalia and how sad it makes me to think about that, to think that there's so much that we can give, and yet there's this country that doesn't have a dime. They don't have anything. So yeah, it's that time of year to really start thinking about giving. So I want to see what Kuan Yin had to say about everything that came out this morning. And the Kuan Yin card says, grace carries you home. At the end of your efforts, when your resources are exhausted and you are without further recourse, I am there for you with loving, wild grace to carry you home. I love that, Kuan Yin. Thank you. Thank you for always being there for us, for always helping us to see that, you know, we do have plenty. It may not seem like it sometimes. It might seem like there's not enough to go around. And I have been in that scarcity mindset myself, that lack mentality, where my attitude is, I don't know where my next meal is coming from. I don't know if I'll be able to pay the rent and have a roof over my head. I've been there. So I totally understand that, we can go down that rabbit hole of thinking that nothing is right, nothing is working good, and everything is all wrong in our world. But it's not. We have to change our attitude, be able to see it. And Prachetta, thank you. Prachetta says, happy Thanksgiving to my beautiful fairy Teri ma'am. Happy Thanksgiving to my entire Angelic River family. Thank you for being here, Prachetta. Lena, good morning to you. Can we have a Thanksgiving party tomorrow in Morning Cuppa? Well, we most certainly can. Anyone is you're always welcome to come in to the Zoom, always. So yes, we can have a party, and I will put the link out. If anybody wants to jump in here tomorrow, let's do it. Let's have a party on Thanksgiving. Thank you for that, Prachetta. Today is our prayer day. It's the day that I read the names that are on our prayer list so we can all revisit them and know who's on there and maybe who we need to add, or if there's someone that we can remove from the list because they're doing better. And I think there's some that I forgot to take off after last Wednesday. So if you have a loved one on the list and you'd like to share their update with me so we can change it, then please do that. And Prachetta, you'll be there tomorrow. Awesome. And Michelle Landers, good morning to you. Wishing everyone a blessed Thanksgiving, love and hugs. And yeah, I think remembering the story that was read, and if you came in late and you didn't get to hear the story of the lion and the mouse, I encourage you to go to the website, angelspeakers.com, and you can read that story and hear what the angels had to say about giving. Okay, and let's see what else. Joanne says, when we remembering with gratitude the beautiful early Thanksgiving we had at the Changes Retreat. We had a peace-giving meal that Kathy Hand was so gracious to provide us with, cooking a wonderful, delightful meal for us. Thank you for that, Kathy. And Marietta says, when we show our devotion to divine love, Spirit responds with grace, and we respond with gratitude. Awesome. Catherine, I'm glad that you will plan on being there. Thank you for that. Liliane, good morning to you in Norway. I hope you're doing well. All right. So if you have any prayer requests or any check-ins that you want to do and let us know what's going on with you, go ahead and do that so we can get into our prayers this morning. It's Wednesday, hump day, the middle of the week, and it's downhill from here. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and maybe you're celebrating, maybe you're not. Whatever you do is right for you, and we're celebrating. I'm here at Auntie Jean's, and Jean's daughter is marching in a parade here in El Paso tomorrow that's going to be televised. And she's so excited. And Jean and Ron, her husband, are so excited to see their daughter on TV. I think that's so awesome. And let's see what else we got. Elena, just good morning and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happiness to all. May you be blessed with your loved ones, thankful for what we have, family and friends, and hugs to all. Thank you for that, Elena. Deirdre, prayers for all humans, Gaia, and world peace, and attention to human trafficking. Absolutely. Good morning, Kathleen Caputo. How's our mama Hada Bear this morning? Kathy Hand, that's a special meaning for me. Instead of kicking Colin and his addicted girlfriend out into the cold, Bob said we can't do that. Jess says she can't remember the last Thanksgiving dinner she had. She has no family. Kathy, that is so benevolent and so beautiful. Thank you for that. And Michelle says, Alan and family are doing better, but I dearly, where'd it go? I dearly need healing prayers for help and thank you. You're so welcome, Michelle, and I hope you're feeling better as well. Elena says, please add my dad, my daughter, and my son to the prayer list. Boris Zoffman, Jacqueline Carbajal, and David Rieger. Okay, let me go ahead and put that in. Just have to find it, so give me a moment. Any other prayer requests, go ahead and put them in there. Okay. And Michelle, pretty sure I've got your son on the list, but I'm just going to add it in here anyway. Okay. 1 second, I just got to turn the fan on because the heat kicked in and it's kind of hot. Good morning, Marlene Badinger. Good morning, Hope. Good morning, Hope and Zena. Hope says, hiya, P family, sending you all love and light. Enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow. England does not have that holiday, so do enjoy your cousins across the pond and for your cousins across the pond. Hope there's going to be an open Zoom tomorrow if you want to come in during the morning show, and we'll just do a Thanksgiving together tomorrow morning. I love that idea. And thank you. Thank you, Prachetta, for the suggestion. Kathy says, I would gladly participate in Thanksgiving Zoom so you can see the real Chef Bob at work. Let's do it, Kathy. Let's show Bob in all his glory in the kitchen. Lillian says, prayers for my mom's sore that's not any better. Prayers for my family in Sweden, for Stein to get the job, and prayers for myself in my situation, for all of you here and your families, for peace and love in the world. For Mother Gaia, and for you, my son, Teri. Thank you, my star of Norway. Okay, and let's see, I think I missed something by you, Joanne. Go back and find it. Prayers for my husband, John. He has stood up with video clarification in regard to a crime committed. We are praying for his safety as he will now be recognized in a police report. Thank you, John, for taking a stand. Absolutely. And Auntie Jean's awake. She says, the alarm doesn't work if you put PM instead of AM. Love to all. I knew you were snoozing. I went out to get my water and the light was off and the door was almost all the way closed and I didn't hear the fur babies. So I figured you were snoozing in this morning. All right. And Blue says, I stepped away and heard there is someone to add to the list. Yes, there is. Blue. I'm going to be reading it because I added it to my written list. And if you can't stick around, I'll send it to you in a private message. And hope you'll be there. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Maybe we can see our Zena also. Maybe. Oh, thank you, Elena. Elena typed it in for you, Blue. All right, so let's go to the prayer list. And again, if there's anyone else that needs to be added or any updates, please let us know that. All right, so let me find it here. then close it out. Here we go. Oh, Z's away at college. Okay. Good morning, Leo. Thank you for being here. All right. So here we go. Peapod prayer list. And as always, I would just say that every name that's on this list is someone that you ask us to pray for. You were concerned about something and you ask us to just hold your loved one. And blue, it is at the end of the prayer list, and it'll be up on the screen in just a minute. So we're praying for all of the P's for peace. We're praying for peace on earth. And we're praying for our Prachetta, Prachir and Goofy, Aunt Mina and Neil, Navriti, Jasmine and her daughters and her mom, Abha, Billy and Tim and their family, especially their son Brian, Sheila and Kevin Gooden, Gary, James's family, Loretta and Cecil Boone, Joanne Castrillo and her family, especially her husband John, her daughter Jackie and grandson Eris, Deirdre and her daughter Danya and Thump the cat, Deirdre's sister Steph and husband Bob, Adriel, Joni, Tia Fernetti, Nancy Sanger, Mickey, Suzanne Millard and her family, her daughters and her granddaughter and her sister, Marietta and Ed, and good girl Pearl and Mr. Wiggles, the family of Claude and Raquel, Leo Harley and family, DJ Blaze, Lakshmi, Ken, Jebby, Jim and son, Ryan, Rick and Josie Morrow, Tammy Williams, Meg and Jim Lorio and their family, Jean and Ron Lorio and their entire family, Christina and Carrie Leftwich and all of their children, and saw some wonderful messages about I think it was your daughter that just graduated, Christina, Mary Lou Burdick and her family, Catherine and Michael Kovacs and their family and fur babies, Rosalind Good Vibes, Sally and Tony De La Rosa and Rose De La Rosa, Kathy and Bob Hand and their family, especially Colin and Marlena, Bo and Candy Hand, Michael, Patty, Sonia, Paul and Marlene, Joe and his wife, Pat Moss, her daughter and grandchildren, and sister Susan, Becky LaFave and Travis, Erica Hoppy and her family, Corinne, Charlie Coons and his family, and his brother Raymond and wife Kathy, Hope Wellington Marshall and Zina, and Hope's parents Winston and Cynthia, Trey Horn, Andrea Gregg, Catherine, Eric, John, Tatiana, Annie Seven, Grayson, Regina, and Adam, Cassandra and Destiny Ortega, Luz Orsini and her grandchildren and her sister, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah Langren, Oksana and her mom, Amber, Jenna, Katia, Maximus and his teacher, Herb, Darlene, Caitlin and Aunt Gail, Isabel and Paul Reese and her daughters Inesh and Teresa, Beata, Linda and Dick Lemieux and her sons and grandchildren, Linda's friend in Sarasota, Stacy and Josh Lord and their children and grandchildren, and her mom Karen, Mary Lord, Buster, Wayne, Blue Jean and Dave Walensky, and the fur babies, Pocky, Gruff, Wizzy Bees, Blue, Lulu, and Gizmo, Dolly the horse, Chance the horse, Pam Moore, Gordy's family and friends, Lindsay, Aunt Inga, Rose Sermon, Gary McCorkle, Brookie and her family, and Dylan and their little baby Max that's growing in Brookie's belly. Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Sean, Angel Fullerton, Lily Ann in Norway and all of her family, Kathleen Caputo, Colleen Straw, baby Wyatt and mom Mandy, baby Haven, Kat, Steve, Candy and Pastor Bruce, the Deerfield Valley in Vermont, Alba, Dottie and Don, Grace Isis and all of her family in Kenya and their fur babies, Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Karen Palmer and her family and her mom, Vicki King, Elaine Armstrong, Elena, and I put the other ones at the end, Elena, so we'll be getting to them. Marianne, Heinrich and Lorraine, Tammy Fisk and daughter and sister Tracy, Lori, Kelly, Rochelle Martinez and mom Rose, Stephen, Catherine, Ruth Anderson and her family and her sister-in-law Sharon, Diane Bertut, Jeannie, and Jeannie, I don't know if she's out of the hospital yet. She was just recently hospitalized. And also pray for her husband, Al, who starts chemo, I believe, this week. Her Jeannie's sister, Merle, Boulder, Colorado. I'll be going there soon. Deb Goldberg and her family, Michelle, Crystal, and Dean Nobles, and their sons, Gabriel and Jacob, and Brody. Laura Hill, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and her family, Sherry Gatewood and Padama, Hummingbird, Tammy Hill and family, Bill B., Lynn Gallagher, Terry Wilderman and her father, Mary Quincoli and her friends in Florida, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Camilla and Nick in Australia, Lynn Andriozzi, Frank, Albie, Viola, Kenneth, Bobby, Mansi, Kamal, Maddie, Akil and the Pakistan orphans, Noel, Yuri, Scott, Letitia, Mary, Joseph, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dite, Kimberly, Ellen, Susie Koff and Richard, Terry Gilstad, the Walters family, Chiara, Marissa, Allie, Bree, Claudia, Marianne Pish and family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Lenny, Rick Olfick. I think Rick's still in the hospital waiting for that heart transplant. John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and her family, Bob Simon and Sherry Otis, Sharon Boyle and Zoe, Carol Fisher, Jay Rothman and Mary, Deborah, Violet, Walter, Brookie's Aunt Jeannie, Shelley, Sue and grandchildren, Carrie's mom and her niece Laura, Maggie's mom, Freddie, Bradley Capone, Andy, Amanda Summer, Robert Dosa, Miles and Sarah, Debbie Carol Hawks, Carl, Brutus the dog, Augie the dog, Chris Blake, Dante, Cherry, Kaylee, Trevor Jordan, Richard Weber, Charlotte Abrahams, Michelle Landers and her family, especially her son Alan, Joanne McCon-New, Teresa Gloria, which I think, Isabel, you told me we can take Teresa off the list now, Whitney, Jude Dalton, Karen Gibbons and daughter, Matt, Noel and his housemate, James Schultz family, Julie Kiss and her mom Cynthia, and Julie's property had some damage after the hurricane in Florida, so praying for them to be able to rebuild what was torn down. Courtney, Lucinda, Ryan, M, Pat, Sophia, Aaron Parker, Angelica Campamans, Paula Floor's family, Sonny and Hunter especially, Peggy, Claire, Pat O'Connor, Zoe Charles, Erica Fagels, Yolanda, Sylvie Barnes, Robin Waters Dykes and her mom Jewel, Joanne and Leo, Sam, Florida, rebuilding after the hurricane, Matt, Charles and Nita, Yusha, Nancy Berdelsky, EC, Shelley Newman and Teri Newman, Iris, Jen and Norm, Sharon Grant, Keith, Joe H., Ollie the Cat, Marisol Soto, Deborah, Tyler, Chad Ehlers, Dick Waters, Milton Carvajal, Tiffany Ingalls' father, Sharon, Tomas Diaz, Cameron, and that's from Charlie Coons, Boris Zoffman, Jacqueline Carvajal, and David Reiger, and that's from Elena, and Alan, which is Michelle Lander's son. And Isabella, I see your message. We can take her off. Thank you. Good morning, Charlie Coons. And I don't see, oh, please add Alicia and her husband and me for health. Okay, Michelle. Well, I'll add all of, well, you're on the list. I'll add Alicia when I get off the list. All right. So please go into your hearts for all of these that were just mentioned and all that you haven't brought to us, but that you want to be prayed for. And let's say this prayer together. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Thank you. And we do lift every name up to our Creator. Everyone who's on the list, everyone that will be added to the list, just see them standing in this tight circle, inner circle, all together, and see a stream of light coming from the Creator right to their hearts. And then see that light going to your heart because you're connected. Anytime that we have an interaction with another being, there is a stream of light that connects us. So as your loved ones are prayed for, you are as well. So lifting everyone here up this morning, just go into your hearts and pull on that love and know that these loved ones whose names were read are seen, acknowledged, and we leave them now in the hands of the Creator. We ask for the healing angels to go to them. We ask for the Master Jesus to give that touch, and Archangel Raphael to help each one find their healing inside. And let's go to each other now, holding that energy of love. We say, thank you. I love you. And namaste, y'all. That's our beautiful blessing that we give to each other every day. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your love for each other. Thank you for keeping on. That, wow, we've been going for years now on this morning show, bonding together over love, bonding together over concern and compassion for our loved ones and for each other. And I see your words. You're beautiful. Thank you. I love you. And I'm going to get to Leo. Leo, where are you? I know the girls are looking for you. Pocky and Gruff, get ready because I'm going to find that Leo. And we're going to ask him to sing us a song that is a cuppa full of joy. So let me go get it out of my YouTube, and here we go.
Good morning, Earthlings. It's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on a peaceful piece, on a mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead. Wherever we may be, we create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning cup full of joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup full of joy, give me a cup full of, give me a cup full of joy, give me a cup full of. Full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the choice is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we are part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team. And you can slide the dust, there is always no space in the pot. For more love, take a spot and get the day started. Morning cup full of joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup full of joy, give me a cup full of, give me a cup full of joy, give me a cup full of, give me a cup full of joy, give me a cup full of, give me a cup full of joy, give me a cup full of
joy.
There really is no secret. We simply accept, align, allow. AAA, morning cup full of joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup of joy.
Oh, thank you, Marietta. Giving love to everyone. Thankful to be together. I hope you all can join in tomorrow. Thanksgiving on the morning show. On the Thanksgiving breakfast sound. Bring your own breakfast. Why open?
Give me cup of joy. Give me joy. Give me cup of joy. Give me joy. Give me cup of joy. Give me joy. Give me cup of joy.
Dogs have dogs. I love that. We miss those fur babies. Hot and rough. You're so missed. You're so loved. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning for the Morning Cuppa. Thank you for bringing your heart and your soul. And if you haven't read that blog yet, go read the story of the lion and the mouse and see what the angels had to say. I love you all so much. And stay in your hearts. You're in your heart, you know that you're loved. When you're in your heart, you're able to give that love away and make that gift something special. Make it a hug that lasts until the next time you see that person. I've had lots of those along the way, and so has our Auntie Jean, who is now remembering the beautiful, beautiful trip that we just took together. All right. So let's get out of here. I got a meditation to get to in about an hour. So I love you all so much. Namaste, y'all. Bye, everyone. Have a blessed day.